Hello everyone, Randy Harrington here with the Sensible Bigfoot Project. In this video I'm going to show you a thermal capture that we got at the 400. I was there on a 9-day stretch camping by myself, and I believe this was the 5th or 6th day. And what I was doing is I was walking over to the canopy, the kitchen table canopy, and I would occasionally spin my thermal camera around, just looking around the area for any possible heat signatures. Well, I found one. So here's in this map, you can see the kitchen canopy film location, and the possible juvenile was at the edge of the creek where it drops off. And then when I went down in there, you can see the log jam, that something was in behind there, peeking its head up over the top of that, and then it moved up into the far bank. And so these are all the things that you're going to be watching me explain as they unfold. The bad thing is there was a design flaw I had with my thermal camera where when I had my light on, and here it is with the canopy cover back in place, and you can read the descriptions there. But when I would turn my light on, my headlamp, the light would shine off the monitor. I have since remedied that by putting a light behind the monitor, but on this night, every time I turn my light on to move, I've got a harness that I have to throw on my back and strap it all on to carry it. So it was just sitting on a table. I was viewing it, so I didn't have the harness on, and the lights was a distraction because I'd have to turn them on in order for me to walk. I was trying not to face it, but I still had to walk towards it. So it was kind of convoluted at times, but I caught some interesting things along with the figure, even after it left and went down into behind that log jam, and I went down into the creek. There was a time when I thought I saw footprints in the gravel with the thermal camera. So you're going to have to keep your eye out for that too, because I thought I was seeing heat signature footsteps, which maybe a barefoot would leave on cold gravel. So there was that, and there was the signs, the Bigfoot signs where the small part of the head was poking up over the woods or through the brush, and then it would duck down, and sometimes it would move slowly, duck down slowly. So those are all things that we've picked up before and seen before in the thermals that we've caught out here, that culminated in Shane walking up on one, having these same behaviors, that we captured with the thermal. So I'm going to explain most of this as I go through the video, the thermal video, but it's interesting. We believe we caught one, and you'll see the recreation at the end, and I will stick in some audio where it needs to as it comes up. I was just testing the thermal camera with the GoPro, and that's over there at the creek behind my tent. I'm watching it, and it sure looks like a round head on top of maybe a shoulder. Hey buddy, I see you over there. Why are you not moving? And I don't have this on, so I'm pretty much at a stalemate where I've just got to watch it, because I can't put this thing on without losing it completely and then Who knows what it'll do. I see you. Gotta be a tree. It's gotta be a tree. Just don't see it moving. Okay, I'm out. I see less of a shoulder than I saw earlier. I mean, it looked like a head on top of a square shoulder, and now I can barely see the shoulder at all. So I'm not quite sure what's going on. My whole harness and everything is sitting here on the table since I was just testing the setup, so I could go out later. I did get some interesting recordings last night on this ridge right over here that I can't wait for Shane to hear. Lots and lots of rock activity and wood breakage and rocks falling down, rocks landing and hitting the trailer, and just all kinds of crazy shit. So I'm anxious for Shane to listen to it. That's the Polaris. That's the water tank on the trailer, I think. Yeah, that's the water jug. Well, I'm just carrying this thing. I'm gonna mosey on over there while I'm carrying it. Not going to be the easiest of things to do. All right. It's gone. I hear something in the gravel. That's it. I gotta put this thing on and go over there. Hey buddy, are you back here? There it is. I could have swore I heard it moving in the gravel, and then it went in behind all this down tree in the dry creek, this huge pile of debris. It moved in behind that and went across to the other side. I still see it's up there. See it? And there's my camp, seen with the thermal camera. There's my tent, I think. Somewhere in there. Are those footsteps? No. So clearly the figure moved away from the closest side of the bank in behind the brush pile, and then while I was in the creek trying to find it, it moved up into the thick scrub on the far bank going up into the woods on that side. So eventually Shane came out there and we put him in the same spot and did a recreation to try to match up the two. And here is that recreation. Okay, there's Shane. We're going to try to recreate the figure that we caught a week or so ago down here. He's going to move into the creek and move over into that position. Right there, or a little more to your left. A little more to your left. Right there, somewhere in there. Yeah, right there. Dude, that looks good. Turn a little bit to your, turn to your right, so I get just some of your torso and your head. Well, that looks pretty good. Move to your left. And give me various degrees of sticking up out of the higher or lower. Okay, right in. Is there any reason why you can't go back to your right? Is there something in your way? Right there, right there. Yeah, right there. That looks pretty good right there. It's actually peeking through a bush. That's the spot right there. That's good. You got it. You nailed it. Okay, here's the view where the kitchen canopy was. So that was where I had my thermal camera on a table and was viewing down towards the creek there. And there's Shane pointing out the spot at the edge of the creek where the creature was. And here he is down in the creek. Since he has already been in that spot recreating the thermal image, that's where it was. So it was on that little ledge looking up over the bank. And this is the view from that spot that the figure would see me up there under the canopy. And I wasn't looking in his direction. I was just looking at the monitor with my camera looking at him. And here's some recreation of the thing I saw and then Shane going back and forth every 5 seconds. So there's Shane. And then here's the figure. See it down in the creek? And then we'll go back to Shane. And then back to the figure. There's the figure. And it moved when I started going towards it, because I eventually put on the harness and had to start walking in that direction, and that's when it vacated. So very interesting. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.